So, yeah, I'm in California. I'm kind of like couch surfing up there. I've never was ahead of my addiction where I could pay the $2,500 a month rent out there. So it's always like renting a couch, renting part of a room, and I'm doing that. And I'm continuously do that. I lived out of a backpack. The only thing that really changed when I moved to the land of opportunity is it got more expensive. And it just started snowballing. And the drinking stopped being fun and it started being medicine. I would have, $10 in my pocket and I was like, that's a ramen noodle, Kool-Aid, and a 5 o'clock. That's what that is. And then everything, knowing that was my last $10, I was like, but that goes away. It goes away. And then it's like, oh, I'll deal with it tomorrow. Everything was tomorrow. Everything I would start tomorrow. I would stop drinking tomorrow. I would go pay this bill tomorrow. I'll go back to school tomorrow. I was kind of just like this guy in California. Like, oh shit, what do I do? I tried to get a job and I couldn't get a job and everything. Went out to Palm Springs, stayed with a good friend of mine for about a month and decided, it's time to go back to Grand Rapids. Stayed with my mom, who is also a recovering alcoholic, and she is up and down and relapsed. So we just kind of feed off each other. So I was doing that and then got arrested again. Crashed 2 cars. It was just progressively getting worse. I couldn't remember anything. I couldn't really remember. I woke up, I called my dad about getting me into inpatient. You look at these rehabs, when you Google rehabs and wherever, you see the ones that you see on the TV, they're like Betty Ford and like $2,000 a day rehabs. And I'm just like, there's no way I can do this. And someone at Network 180 was like the guiding light. I was like, oh, the homeless shelter I've been passing for the last 35 years of my life? And they're like, yeah, no. And I was all like, I'm not going to a homeless shelter. I'm a kid from Jenison. I'm not going there. That's not happening, And they're like, no, look it up. And I was like, all right. And I was like, it's free. I called here, Brian called me back. And he said, all right. You seem pretty eager, because I really wanted to get this under control. I know that about myself, that I was just like, I got sick of it. I really, really did. I was just like, this is my attempt, otherwise I'm gonna have to just accept that this is who I am. This is gonna be what is written in this is what he is. This is what people knew was coming. They're like, oh, well, he passed away last night from what? Alcohol. Makes sense. Like, I just accept it. I was about to accept it. And Brian said, okay, why don't you come in it was a Thursday. He said, why don't you come in tomorrow at 11? I said, I'll see you at 10. I was scared because the first thing you do, as you know, you see the cross. And obviously as a gay man, and I was already like, oh, here we go, When you get here, I think, especially for me, you stand up a little straighter, your voice gets a little deeper, because you don't know your surroundings. It's a survival mechanism to puff your chest out for others. But that was a little nerve-wracking at first. And then Morning Grit came, and I was like, oh, here's the cult stuff. I was wondering when the cult stuff is coming. And I was like, and they were like, now raise your hands. I was like, hey, at least it's not a cop asking me to do it, so I'll do it. And then you start to understand that the program is a group of men trying to help another group of men make a difference in their life. when I walked in here, I'm all like, this isn't gonna work. I'm too different. My story and my everything is just not like theirs. You know, there's no way for them. I'm a horse of a different color. I'm just like, I'm way too different. They're not gonna understand me. They're gonna be like, this kid is, you need something else. I thought they were gonna be like, I think you might need one of those padded rooms. And then, you know, you sit there and they're like, oh, I've heard this before. You know, you're just like, what? And it's funny because you sit in the meetings, and what you say at these meetings, you get, usually if you tell people you're you know, drunken escapades, they're like, you did what? And you know, you go to a meeting or you tell the guys here and they kind of, a nod of understanding. Oh, I've done that too. Yeah, you're like, that nod of like, I know exactly what you're talking about. And that right there is something you can't get anywhere else. We really are just a group of men trying to make a difference in their own lives. You know, I think we come in here a lot looking for hope. And I think right there, you're living proof of it, that you want to change yourself. I don't know what tomorrow is going to be. Yeah. And I want to know.